In this lesson, we're going to talk about one of the more advanced reading comprehension question types where you're asked to apply information from the passage to a task. So these application tasks, they are not that frequent. You're going to likely encounter a maximum of one application task per question or per passage, just because they are generally of a harder difficulty and they take some time. So the exam doesn't load up on this type of question in reading comprehension. They are, again, harder tasks that involve matching the information from the passage to a correct choice in the correct fashion, and they are a little bit more unique in their structure than the other more standard question tasks. It also will include critical reasoning style questions in reading comprehension. So they might ask you to affect an argument, evaluate the author's argument, strengthen, weaken a position in the passage. So these are the critical reasoning style questions in reading comprehension as well. And they also can be possible harder tasks for integrated reasoning, two-part analysis, and multi-source reasoning questions. So again, you recognize that in that vestigial tail section of the exam that they can have both quantitative and verbal concepts. So this is one of the harder verbal concepts that you can encounter in two-part or multi-source reasoning questions on the integrated reasoning. Now, the strategic implications. First, you have to carefully note the subject and limit your consideration of the task to that topic. Do not think about the passage holistically. You are being asked specifically to apply information about a individual piece of information, so don't broaden it unnecessarily to the passage overall. You will want to summarize the subject as a functional prediction, but you're not going to be able to specifically predict what the answer should be. Because if you're looking for something that is analogous to the scenario involving the sloth in the passage, you're not going to be able to come up with what the exam believes is the right answer abstractly, because it could be anything. You just have to make sure that you understand the topic and are able to apply the information about said theoretical sloth. They are often indicated by the phrase "of the following." Now, that said, "of the following" is a phrase that you'll see in many reading comprehension tasks, so make sure that you don't mistakenly identify an inference or a detail or purpose question as an application task just simply because you see "of the following." If it can be categorized as one of the other three task types, it probably is that task type. You'll also want to apply those critical reasoning processes as needed based on what the question stem is. So again, if you're being asked to weaken, follow the weaken critical reasoning process. If you're asked to strengthen, follow the strengthen critical reasoning process, so on and so forth. And this is the most reasonably skipped reading comprehension task if you're behind in pace, because it's going to be asking about a specific piece of information, and applying that piece of information, it will generally be more time consuming than your average, more conventional reading comprehension test. And it's probably not going to relate to another question in the set. So if you have to skip something because you're behind in your pacing, in reading comprehension, this is it. Don't skip the more attainable detail, purpose, or inference questions. These ones, though, maybe, but again, I